Hello and welcome back to the Teacher Let Your Light Shine podcast. We are so happy that you are here. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you the real, raw truth about what teachers need after leaving public school education. Maybe not even just public school education. Maybe it is private school education or some type of caring for students, for families, and being really a part of a larger system. I'm coming at you with this episode after 3 years of having a micro school, moving into our 4th year of having a micro school. We have been interviewing teachers for the positions to be teaching at our school. And with this, my husband and I have had the pleasure of speaking with a dozen teachers over the past week who interviewed to work at our school part-time. So we've definitely been given the beautiful freedom of having a school where teachers can work part-time. And not just through our micro school, there's so many other teachers that have built micro schools and have built their schools around the schedule and the work-life balance that they've wanted to have. They put that together and they have created weeks, months, schedules where they may only work 4 days a week, where they may start in September and end in the middle of May, where they may only do camps throughout the year, or they could even potentially solely rely on summer camps. I've worked with and coached teachers who solely rely on summer camp income because it is such a moneymaker for them. Where I'm going with this episode is that while interviewing these teachers, my husband and I both turned and looked at each other afterwards and said, these teachers need healing. They need healing from post-traumatic stress disorder. And I know that that may sound so far-fetched compared to people who have legitimately had post-traumatic stress disorder from major life events, going to war, going and losing family members and huge life transitions. But post-traumatic stress disorder can come in many forms, and I'm here to say that maybe you have experienced this yourself as you stepped out of teaching in a public or a private school sector and started your micro school. Maybe you are the teacher who's sitting in this place of, I cannot do this anymore. I'm so burnt out. I have no creativity left. I have no desire, but I don't know what else to do. And so in this episode today, I'm going to share with you what we have noticed through our interviews and our greatest takeaways on how your life really can be different. It really can be different, and also allowing you the space and the time to heal. So I'm going to share my own journey. I'm going to share other teachers' journeys, and we're going to take a practical look at how this can really play into your own life as well. Let's do it.
Welcome, teacher, to the Let Your Light Shine podcast. If you're searching for the freedom and permission to design the life you love as a teacher, you're in the right place. I'm on a mission to help teachers just like you build their own dream school or homeschooling business. In this present day, the world needs you, teacher friend, to step out in faith and give students an education they love and so deserve. In this podcast, I will teach you how to start a fulfilling and profitable homeschooling business that lights you up. I'm Mackenzie Oliver, former elementary teacher and instructional coach, gone homeschool teacher and business builder. I'm here to empower you to step outside the classroom and choose the experiences, the curriculum, and all the moments that put a smile on your face and your students. Does it seem like a dream? Well, it did to me, until God opened the doors and made it reality. Together, we are breaking through fears and moving the crowd. So get out your notebook, sharpen your pencil. It's time to get your teach on.
Now, I promise this is not going to be a doom and gloom episode. However, this is an episode that has to be discussed, and it doesn't just need to be discussed one time. We need to keep reviewing it over and over. If you are new to this podcast, this is just a quick recap that I was a public school teacher for 15 years. I was also an instructional coach. I loved my job. I knew this is what I wanted to do my whole life. I also knew that I wanted to continue to expand my expertise and move into possibly getting my doctorate degree, become an administrator, got my master's degree, and then it all really just came piling down. My last year, we were going through some life changes of my children, my daughter entering middle school, and the reason why I loved being a teacher is because I loved being with my children. She was going to go to a new middle school in our neighborhood. I always also dreamt about being a stay-at-home mom, but I knew that I needed to make money. In the meantime, I just was craving this balance of life. I wanted the freedom to create my own schedule. I wanted the freedom to just make anything that I wanted to make, whether it be a Friday to go to the grocery store, whether it be to start my own business, whether it be to help my husband with his business. I just was so tired of being strapped in an 8 to, let's be honest here, 5, 6 o'clock at night career, still doing work on the weekends, still being what you feel like on call into your emails, and just really being a slave, it felt like, especially to a system that was dark and almost invisible, but it was this invisible force. I loved working with teachers. I loved my school. I loved being an instructional coach, but I just craved something so much more expansive. That would be the word. And although I did not think that I needed healing, I walked away from my career needing so much healing. I've talked about this on prior episodes before. You can go back to the first couple episodes of this podcast and hear more of a deep dive. I've sprinkled it in many other episodes, but I will say, when I left, I was scared. I was absolutely scared to make a change, and I know that that's what a lot of other teachers are feeling. They are afraid to make a change. This is all they've ever known. This is all that they've ever wanted to be, but the grass was not greener on the other side. You know, as we were talking with teachers that we were interviewing this week, to give you another little bit of a backstory, we've had a micro school that started out in my home with 8 students, next year 12 students, third year 18 students, 3 teachers, 21 kids, or 21 people each and every day. I want to say that that might seem very stressful, and let me just say that there could be times where there were. It was nothing compared to what I felt when I was teaching in public school. Yes, there were 21 times 2, that is 42 feet going across my floor every day, fingerprints on the wall, fingerprints on the window. I'll tell you what, I would do it all over again compared to ever having to go back into the school system. And I'm one that actually loved my job. So imagine the people who have been forced into doing things that really went against who they were as a person. Think about the people that dreaded their job going to and from school each day. Think about the people that were really disrespected by administrators or by other teachers. So I know how the struggle was real for me. I can only imagine how that was for someone who was really in the pit. And when I left, I spent about 6 months, this is before the pandemic, I spent about 6 months trying to help my husband with his painting business. I was also needed to make money, so I did an online jewelry business. I was volunteering in my daughter Juliana's class. She started a new school. Whenever I left my school, I was going to her school. I was loving it. I was loving the freedom, but I'll tell you what I didn't love. I didn't love coming home by myself and listening to what was going through my mind. I was really needing healing from burnout, from not knowing really who I was, not really being my true, full, creative, authentic self. The hustle and bustle of feeling as if you wake up at 5:30 in the morning, you are rushing to get yourself all together and out the door, and you're just thinking about the parent-teacher conversation, you're thinking about your admin meeting, you're thinking about the progress reports, you're thinking about all the data that needs to be entered, you're thinking about how you've got to call parents during your plan period and recess, and it was just so much, I believe, on our working memory, on our brain. And then to love what you do and to love people and to love the children, but not feel as if you were really being able to be this burst of energy, excitement, love, passion, because you were always worried about what the end result was going to be, how you were looked, how you were measured, how the students were measured, if they were going to fail. Did you have job security even? And I will say that while I'm sitting across the table from these teachers who are interviewing, they're scared. They are scared not necessarily to join our micro school. They are scared of what stepping into this type of education is like and how it could resemble where they came from. Every single teacher, from brand new, like just fresh out of the gate teachers to teachers who are 60 years old and have applied for Lighthouse Learning Micro School, every single one of them are beaten down. They are incredible teachers with such dynamic personalities and creativity, but they want to go as far away as possible from public education and all of the work that they have had to put into it without compensation, with the pressure. They want to be so far away from it. And my husband and I are sitting here listening to them. My husband said it over and over to several of them. You need healing. You really need healing, and it is okay to feel that way. My wife felt that way, and I said I even had post-traumatic stress disorder whenever I first started our micro school. I was in my house with my own kids, my neighbors, and a few other kids, and I would just be sitting there. I specifically remember where I was in my den teaching third grade math, and while the little kindergartners were in the kitchen, I could see them, and they were doing some little word building activities, and I had this insane rush go through my body. Is everybody engaged? Is the door going to open and they're going to evaluate me? And I remember feeling that way and being like, oh my God, you have been literally in a state of fear, literally in a stage of fight or flight. And maybe that's not you. Maybe that's just how my body responded to it. But I can tell you that there are teachers who are like, I love project-based learning. I love teaching phonics. I love teaching math. Wait a minute. When I asked them on Thursdays and Fridays, we do enrichment days where you can choose to teach whatever you want to. 2 to 3 different activities that you can teach on Thursdays and Fridays. What would you like to teach? You can do a range from, we can go back to we'll take a bus of kids back to my house because our new location, which by the way, I'm going to be telling you about in the next episode. I said, you can take these children. We'll have a 15 passenger van, and let's say 12 students sign up for swim lessons on Thursday and Friday. You can bus them to my house, which is about a couple minutes away, and you can do swim lessons with the student. Or you can take the students back to our house because our new location does not have a kitchen and our students love cooking. You can do a baking or a cake decorating class. Or you can stay here at the school and do an enrichment class. And one teacher was like, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know what my hobbies and passions are. I've never been asked. She said, I've been teaching for 26 years. I've never been asked, what would you like to teach that is different than the mainstream curriculum? She said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna have to sit here and think about this for a minute. And then she came up with, well, I love to run. Could I do a running club? And we're like, yes, you could do a running club. She's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then another teacher, same reaction. Oh my gosh, I've never been asked that. Gosh, anything? Yeah, well, what's something that you're passionate about that you would love to bring to our school on Thursday and Friday? Monday through Wednesday are academic days, and then Thursday and Friday you can teach different enrichment classes. And she's like, I mean, what about just good old-fashioned board games and teaching them how to take turns and doing Monopoly and teaching them how to give back change and how to make investments? And we're like, yes. And she's like, really? Chinese checkers? Sure. Well, you know, the research shows that really helps children in their problem solving and how to make decisions, but those are things we don't teach in school. Well, those are things that we're going to teach in our school. And you have the opportunity to do that. We also have to talk to our teachers about the importance of progress monitoring, but also not the mandated progress monitoring and the standardized testing. A lot of teachers don't even know what that could look like or feel like. One teacher even said, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel as if this is probably the most novel idea that I've ever been presented with in education. The fact that you have kindergarten through 6th grade students who are ability grouped rather than by age group. She's like, what a novel idea. That's exactly what should happen. Our students should be getting the exact instruction that they need. If they are in 3rd grade and they have not mastered their phonics, then by golly, they could be in a group with kindergarten and 1st grades honing in on those phonics skills. But yet we are having children maybe pulled out for 20, 30 minutes of intervention, and then they're sitting in a class doing reading for an hour, hour and a half, or science and social studies on top of that, not even being able to understand what the text is telling them because they cannot read. We have the ability to really transform education, and I can tell you that teachers need help, they need hope, they need healing, and they need to know that there is freedom on the other side, and maybe you are that person. Yes, starting a micro school can feel so big, can feel so overwhelming. It can feel as if I don't even know where to begin. I don't know where to start. I don't have the resources. What does this even look like? I don't have the support. How much money do I need? You're coming up with all of these questions. And yet, at the same time, you're like, I want to keep teaching, and I've dreamt of what a school could look like. I've dreamt of what, if I ran my own school, like if I ran the zoo, if I ran my own school, this is what it would look like. Except you don't have the right tools, you don't have the right resources, you're scared, you feel like this is an overwhelming big to-do list. I get it. To be honest with you, I dropped my bags. I literally gave everything away whenever I left teaching. I was done. And do you know that majority of the teachers that we have interviewed have walked away saying, I'll never go back to teaching again. That is how done and hurt and burnt I have been. Yet they're slowly dipping their toes back into it. They applied for the job. They're getting themselves grounded, like, okay, is this really going to be this type of teaching that I've always dreamt about and wanted so badly, or am I going to get trapped again? There's a fear there, and rightfully so. You could be feeling that way about starting your own school. And yes, there are definitely times whenever you're starting that it can feel very like a monstrous task. Some of us have been just thrown into it, and literally God has paved the way and brought the people, brought the employees, brought the location, all of it. My husband even looked at me yesterday. He said, honey, I'm telling you, you know that there is a God. He said, because he has literally brought everything that we've ever needed for this school. And I hear this testimony from people all the time. Now, that does not mean that we do not go through times of wondering, where's the money going to come from? Where are the kids going to come from? How do I market? How do I enroll? All of those questions come. And here's the thing. The more you resist it, the more it's going to persist. Keep resisting, it's going to keep persisting. And so we can keep resisting the idea that all of these things are not going to fall into place. But I can tell you that if you get up and you get going and we stop procrastinating, and we know you can see hundreds and hundreds of thousands, all the way up to thousands of people who are starting micro schools across the United States of America. It's so hot, it's blowing up. And people have said time over and time over again, this is the future of education. We get to design and create. It's like that one-room schoolhouse all over again, or it can be smaller, it can be bigger, however you want it. But if you are thinking, I cannot go any more in the direction of this teaching career, but I still want to teach, and I really did not even know that this is the opportunity that I can have. Let me just tell you, it's just plain wrong for you to be sitting in that situation, for you to be sitting in that boat. Maybe the time isn't for you right now to start a micro school in August, but I can tell you that now is the time to start preparing. Now is the time to look at your life and say, this is a life that I want to design. Maybe you've already started your micro school and you're feeling intimidated or you're feeling overwhelmed. It's just plain wrong for you to sit there in isolation and to not get your answers or your problems solved, because we have been indoctrinated to close our room and to figure it out ourselves. This is not the type of education, professionalism that we are trying to have when it comes to building a micro school. I am here to tell you that there is a better way. You can teach your children better. You can teach better. You can have a better quality of life, but you do have to take the step. If you are ready, and if you are sitting in a place of already starting, but you need the help, please understand that there is help out there for marketing your business, getting the business bundle documents. That's your first step when it comes to all the business documents that you need. Or schedule a one-on-one coaching call. Go in and say, I'm ready to be able to get all of my dreams and my passions onto paper, and I need steps and actions to get started, but I need someone to help me. When you invest your time, when you invest even your money, you will be able to yield the results. I've helped hundreds of teachers build their micro school, start their micro school, scale their micro school, and I'm here to help you as well. You can go to www.teachersletyourlightshine.com, teachers.light.com/coaching. Look at our coaching options. Start there. If you're wondering, I sit with so many people throughout the week who go, I just need you to sit with me and tell me, is this idea right? Like, can this idea really happen? And I say to them, yes, here's how. Let's map out a plan. I sit with teachers all the time who say to me, I need help with marketing. I have an idea, but I don't know how to get it into the face or into the hands of families. I got it. Let's sit down. Let's go over all of your business bundle documents. Now let's make sure that we hash out a plan, and I will meet back with you in 2 weeks. Here's your task. So you can go to coaching, schedule your coaching session. Even if you don't have your business bundle documents, that's okay. Go schedule your coaching session. Even if you already have all the documents that you think that you need for your business, schedule your coaching. Schedule your deluxe coaching so that I can help you time and time again over the next several months, help you from start all the way to execution. Go and schedule a one-on-one coaching just to get your idea heard, put on paper, and mapped out. You can also say, you know what? I know I need 1, but I don't know if I need 10. So can I meet you in the middle and let's have 4 to 5 coaching sessions? Yes, go to the Jumpstart coaching package. That's www.teachers.letyourlightshine.com/coaching. If you are ready and you already have things mapped out, you looked at our 8-step process, which you can download that at teachers.letyourlightshine.com/map. The 8-step guide to starting your micro school. You can look at that in our resources. We've got a bunch of freebies on our resource page. You can also go ahead and grab your business bundle documents because they are done for you. You just go to the website, purchase them, download the materials. They're delivered straight to your inbox, and you plug and play. You can purchase the pieces separately, or you can purchase the business bundle resources for a discount and marketing and enrolling your students, but they are done for you. Marketing materials, all you have to do is add in your own school information, your heart. If you are healing from this situation of leaving school, leaving your teaching career, and you want hope and you want help, but you're afraid of the stress, you're afraid of the headache, or maybe you've already started your school, and you don't want the stress and you don't want the headache of having to do this all on your own. You want someone to walk the road alongside you and give you several strategies to build, to grow your school. I highly suggest that you purchase the Jumpstart or Deluxe coaching program so you can receive several custom planned meetings to help you get through the toughest parts of this. But at the same time, no more fighting what God has called you to do. No more feeling as if you're lost and you can no longer teach and do what you've always loved to do. No more building your business in isolation. No more wondering what to do next. No more wasting time, money, energy in areas that are not giving you the results or the life that you want to live. You don't have time to waste because you've got one life to live, and this is your mission and this is your calling. Then we are ready to just wow your community and solve so many educational problems. Be the leader in educational entrepreneurship. Connect with families. Solve some of the deepest issues that we have in education right now. Give your life back. Start your own schedule. Start your own time, your own energy. Being able to create a school, to create a lifestyle that allows for that. Just be excited about a plan to help you to either leave your teaching career or to be able to start a new course, a new life. I'm here for it. Send me a message, send me an email at teacherletyourlightshine@gmail.com. Go to www.teachersletyourlightshine.com/coaching. I'm so excited to see you, and I want to see you on the other side.
Hey, teacher friend. Thanks so much for listening to today's show. I pray it inspired you, touched you, or challenged you in some way, because we are making big shifts and using our teaching gifts for God's glory like never before. I'm so grateful for you. The number one way you can support this show is to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts, and also share this with another teacher. Come join me in the Virtual Teachers Lounge, known as the Teacher Let Your Light Shine Facebook group. Until next time, keep shining your teacher light. The world needs you.